Hello, welcome again. We are solving mechanical engineering paper 2 of year 2025 of civil services mains exam. Question number 3B is a centrifugal compressor is to be designed for an industrial application handling air. The inlet transition conditions are P01 1.1 bar and P01 295 Kelvin. The air enters the eye of the impeller axially without any pre-warm. The axial velocity is uniform throughout the eye and is equal to 143 meter per second. The eye tip and the root diameters are 0.3 meters and 0.15 meter respectively. Calculate the mass flow rate of air. The overall diameter of the impeller is 0.5 meters. The power input factor is 1.04 and the slip factor is 0.9. The rotational speed of the compressor is 290 revolutions per second. The isentropic efficiency of the compressor based on total head is 0.78. The radial velocity at the impeller tip is 143 meter per second. Assume that half of the total losses occur in the impeller. Determine the pressure ratio and the power required to drive the compressor. Also determine the axial depth of the impeller channels. At the periphery of the impeller, draw the TS diagram showing the variations of both static and stagnation pressure and temperatures in the impeller and the diffuser. For air, gamma is equal to 1.4, Ct is equal to 1.005 kilojoules per kilogram per degree Kelvin. So first of all, this is your centrifugal compressor. It has two parts. This one is impeller, this one is diffuser. So impeller has an eye having this is having this has root diameter and this has tip diameter or tip surface, and this is the overall diameter of the or overall radius of the impeller, and this is your diffuser. So in the two parts the pressure rise is occurring. So first we will consider the impeller and draw the TS diagram for both impeller and as well as diffuser. So this is the entry point, and here the stagnation temperature is T01 and stagnation pressure is P01, and this is the actual process occurring in the compressor both in impeller and diffuser part, and P03 is the final stagnation pressure, and T03 or P02 is the final stagnation temperature. Okay, so this is non-isentropic process. If isentropic process would have been occurred, then and pressure would have been kept, final pressure would have been kept same, that is P03, then the temperature, stagnation temperature after the process would have been T03 dash. Okay. So this is the isentropic process. Okay, and assuming that the final pressure is same, final stagnation pressure is same, so there is some lesser quantity of stagnation temperature, that is T03 dash. Okay. If non-isentropic process would have been occurred, then T03 or T02 would have been the stagnation temperature. But now if isentropic process is occurring, then T03 dash is the stagnation temperature, considering the losses both in impeller as well as in diffuser. Okay, so if we assume that there is only loss in impeller, then the final pressure would be, and there is no loss in diffuser, then the final stagnation pressure would have been P02. So this is the pressure loss in the diffuser part, and this is the pressure loss in impeller part. Okay, if completely isentropic process would have been occurred and T03 temperature, extraction temperature is obtained, then this would have been the pressure. Okay, so this is the pressure loss in impeller, this is the pressure loss in diffuser. Okay. And final stagnation temperature, if there is no loss in diffuser, is T02 dash. Okay, so this represents impeller loss, this represents diffuser loss, and this is your overall loss. Okay. So now this is the point where the air enters the diffuser, and the pressure here is P2 and temperature here is T2. Okay. So, and velocity here is C2. So this is your dynamic head. So if we add dynamic temperature, this is your dynamic temperature C2 by C2 square by 2 T2. If we add dynamic temperature to T2, then we will get final stagflation temperature, that is T0. So this is the explanation of the diagram. Okay. Now there are two velocity diagram. One is inlet velocity diagram, and other one is your outlet velocity diagram. So at inlet there is no P1, so C1 means actual velocity is equal to actual velocity, and this is the I velocity, and this is the relative velocity. And at outlet, this is your vertical component, this is your radial component, this is the velocity, and this is your relative velocity. Okay. So now given data are P01 is given as 1 bar and T01 is given as 295 Kelvin, and here this velocity is given as 143 meters per second. From this velocity of air, we can find out the static temperature T1 by using energy equation. So total energy is CPT01 and temperature energy is CPT1, and this is your kinetic energy per unit mass. So from putting this T01 295 T1 we have to find out, and CA1 143, we can find out T1. So this is the inlet temperature of the air. Okay. So now P01 is your stagnation pressure, T1 is static pressure at inlet. We can use isentropic relation to find out P1. P01 by P1 is equal to P01 by P1. So it's for gamma by gamma minus 1. Gamma is 1.4, so P1 and P01 is 1 bar, P01 is 295. So we can find out this P1, that is static pressure. Why we have found out this P1? Because we have P1, we have T1. From this P1 T1 we can find out rho density, and from this density we can find out mass volume. So that would be the answer to first question. So P1 is this. Now using P1 by RT1 we can find out density, that is 1.190 kilogram per meter cube, and the mass flow rate is ρ1 A1 C1. As I tip diameter is impeller I tip diameter is given as 0.3 and root diameter is given as 0.15, so area will be 5 0.3 square minus 0.15 square divided by 4, that is 0.053 meter square. Okay. And ρ1 is 1.190, A is this, and velocity is CA1, that is, so mass flow rate will come out as 9.01 kilogram per second. So this is the mass flow rate. So this is the answer to first question. So time is less, already 9 minutes have been spent. So for the rest part of the question, you have to have a next video. Okay.